I really try not to be critical of our people, particularly those who are succeeding and trying the best they can. And it's just what they don't know that's killing them, but they think they know. I really try to have great compassion and empathy, as long as folks are trying and leaning in. But I can't help in situations like this.
How did you run through 20? I never saw 20.
No excuse. So I played 10 years. You said I made 20. We all know about Uncle Sam, right? So what's that, 10?
10.
Right? So that's about $1 million a year.
Yeah.
That ain't no money. That's the real truth. The real truth is I ain't really make no money. So people are like, oh, I don't understand how you go crazy from, I'm like, I ain't make Floyd Mayweather and no money. I didn't make the type of money where it's like, I'm gonna go crazy because I don't have it today. So you gotta be a real strategic dude making $1 million a year and thinking you're gonna end up, with everything on earth. I got 14 brothers and sisters that I love with all my heart. I got a mother and a father, So it was a lot on us. But the real truth with the money part of it is we ain't make enough money.
I'm trying not, this is not personal. I don't know him. This is not a personal thing. But he's influencing people when he talks like this. And we have got to call it for what it is. It's his mess. What do you mean you can't, it's $20 million and you can't live on $1 million a year? By the way, commend him, let me start this. I commend him for, it appears, paying his taxes. Appears, although there were some other issues with the law that affected his income over $20 million. There was, again, I'm not judging him, there was some kind of a accusation about something with the NBA and healthcare and some kind of a fraud thing. I don't know if that's true or not, but that wasn't a good look. And there was something else that affected an endorsement deal that got canceled. I'm sure the company didn't cancel it just because, and that affected his income. This is above 20 million. But we're talking about, he had $20 million over 10 years and he's broke now? And worse, he hasn't learned anything. He's like saying, well, what do you expect from me? I had to give the money to the tax man. I had to take care of my family, my mother, my sister, my brother, my friends, all my boys. No, you don't. The best way to start to solve poverty is not to be poor yourself. And poverty is, as I keep saying, to be broke is an economic situation. To be poor is a disabling frame of mind, a depressed condition of your spirit. You must vow never, ever, ever to be poor. Again, it's a mindset. You make money during the day, you build wealth in your sleep. Getting rich is a contract. The money will come, the money will go. But wealth is a mindset. If you get a contract and you raise your spending to the contract, and then you spend, you make $1 million, and the contract, you spend 900,000 or close to that, and then the contract ends, guess what? The spending continues because you raise your lifestyle. So the way you do this is you have a tax strategy on the front end of this. Then you also have you put up some money aside for your boys and your family. Here's what I'm going to help them with, and that's it. It's a maximum of 10%. Maximum. You don't buy your mother a house for cash. You don't buy your boys houses and cars. You don't put them on private jets. You get a nice, respectable mortgage for your mother. You put the down payment on it. You figure out what she could reasonably afford to pay, and you pay the rest. And you put some money aside for a house that you know she could afford, and you can afford. If things go south, we can take care of that. Everybody else, but your mother is on their own. You're not responsible for them because now, can they help you? Are they helping you? And you haven't done them any favor if you just hooked them up, given them money, but you haven't given them life. You haven't given them a way forward. Anyway, look, if you had just invested this money, just did nothing more but invest the money, you could live on the interest for the rest of your life. Put it in businesses, put it in real estate, put it in you can't just spend money. Money's nothing, and it's gone. Money's an exchange of value. That's all it is. So you got to take the money and turn it into something. Not spending, not flossing, not trying to take care of the entire neighborhood. How many times must we hear this same story over and over again, these heartbreak stories, without having a change of heart? It's John Hope Bryant, Money and Wealth Podcast every week. Thanks for making it so popular last year. Follow it. Go to Operation Hope, get your coaching and counseling. Let's find the rainbow after our storm. Aren't we tired? Aren't we sick and tired of being sick and tired? I know I am. I'm tired of hearing these stories, and they never stop. God bless his brother. Please send him my way if he still wants to listen.
Message.
Peace. Back with another installment of We Have to Do Better. In that clip, you just heard John Hope Bryant speaking about comments that Sebastian Telfair made in regard to having $20 million when playing in the NBA and now experiencing financial hardship. This is not exclusive to Sebastian Telfair. There have been plenty of athletes who have made millions of dollars, and when they stop playing professionally, they end up not having any money. I posted a video that Cameron had spoke about. If he had $5 million and he didn't have any more money coming in, what he would do, he would live like he was only getting paid $100,000 a year. And he said he'd be able to live off of that for 50 years. You have to find a way to live below your means. A lot of these athletes end up with this money and then they go crazy. But the thing about it is when you were growing up, you didn't have this money. So why are you not, taking a page out of your history and trying to live a life of mediocrity? Where you fall short is when you're trying to stay up with the Joneses. I mean, Sebastian Telfair, he said that he has 14 siblings. And that's understandable, but hey, look, if you have 14 siblings and both your parents, that's 16 people. That's 16 people. You cannot account for all those people. You cannot just sit around and provide for those people. They're going to have to live regular lives. It comes to a point where you have to think about self-preservation. Yeah, you got millions of dollars, but that doesn't mean that you can just spend. You have to invest if you want residual income coming in, and that's what you probably should have done. Not probably what you should have done or anything. I don't want to make this directed towards him. He did what he did. I'm just trying to say that, and I don't have that type of money, but me thinking ahead, I would have tried to invest that money to try to have some residual income, and I would have been trying to live below my means instead of trying to live above my means. I wouldn't have been buying fancy cars. I wouldn't have been buying big houses. I wouldn't have been doing any of that, because when you're a professional athlete, you are an injury away from not being able to play again. So you have to live your life as such. And this is just my 2 cents. You can keep it, sell it, throw it away. It doesn't matter. Like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, peace.
So for all the people out there that fall in love with material items, we're going to bump the